Welcome, welcome to this week's podcast, where I am talking about what makes a good mother. I've got a really simple answer to this. There isn't a right answer. You get to choose for you what your definition of a good mother looks like. I could just end the podcast there, couldn't I? Let's just explore it in a little bit more detail because I know for me, before I learned that I actually had a choice, my definition was this. I had to want to look after my children 24/7. I had to want to play with them 24/7. I should want to cook healthy food 24/7, tidy the house 24/7, grow my business, have sex with my husband 24/7. I should exercise 24/7. I should be a good friend, a good sister, a good mother, daughter. I really believed that I should be able to do everything all of the time. And of course, I wasn't. And then I would beat myself up for that. And I really believe that we are at a current place in our human history where women can have it all. In the sense of, if they want to, they can have the job and they can have the family. We can earn money. We can be the breadwinner if we want to be. I'm not saying that that's what women should do, but if you want to work and you love your job, you can have that in a very calm, a very grounded way, as long as you're willing to drop the expectation that you have of being a perfect mother. Because we've grown up in a society where the woman generally does do all the work. I mean, I was thinking on my way back from the river this morning, I love to start my weeks with a cold water swim up the river. And this morning was particularly delicious because the sun was shining, it was gorgeous, and I was the only one there, and it was beautiful. But on the way back, I was thinking, oh my gosh, like that publication of, I think was it the good house, whatever it, housekeeping. There was actually a book created on how to be a good housewife. And it literally stated that the dinner should be on the table when the husband walks through the door, that the children should look presentable, that the woman should look presentable, that the house should be immaculate because he doesn't want to be added to his stress levels. So we have been conditioned to believe that the woman does everything around the house and around the children. This is not a reason to, this is not an excuse. This is not an excuse anymore. Having been conditioned that way is not an excuse. And I would just like to add that I think that conditioning is just as has a negative effect on men because then men feel the pressure of having to be the breadwinner. Whereas actually they might want to be at home with the kids, but because society say they should be the one out working, they should be the hero, they should be the knight in armor, they should be strong and not have emotions, this has had a negative effect on them as well. I just want to put that out there. But I'm talking to women, so and I am a woman. So this is how I've overcome my expectation. I first of all, I've recognized it and I've acknowledged it with absolute fascination. I decided a few years ago I was not going to judge myself anymore. I was not going to judge myself. I was not going to judge my brain's initial judgments. I was just going to find them fascinating. Now, this doesn't just happen easily. It is a process of acknowledging what your brain's telling you, breathing and understanding it with compassion, and then choosing something different. So, if you are a working mum who wants to be working, who loves her job, but just has this high expectation that she has to do everything, here's how we overcome that. One of the biggest things that I've had to learn how to do is ask for help and I allow them to do it in a way that they want to do it. So I'm thinking mostly of my husband here, right? He is a very capable man. He is very capable of cooking, cleaning, washing, looking after our boys. Very capable. But if I try and do everything, I don't ever let him be capable. He doesn't know what's going on in my head. He hasn't, no human is psychic. We do not know what is happening in someone else's head. So if you think, well, it should be obvious, oh my gosh, my friend, it is never obvious. Maybe to another woman, but it will not be obvious to another man because we all are thinking differently. It may not even be obvious to another woman. So the point number two is stop thinking that people know what you're thinking. Stop thinking that people should know what you want because they don't. And even if we ask them, they're not probably going to do it in a way that we want them to do it or a way that we think is perfect, which is why dropping those expectations is so critical. So, one of the instant things that comes to mind here with me is, well, there are two things actually. There's stacking the dishwasher and then there's cooking. I'm not a perfectionist. I'm very grateful that that is not something that I've had to deal with in my life until it comes to stacking the dishwasher. And then, believe me, there is a right way to stack the dishwasher. Do my family follow it? No, no, they don't. And I used to spend time restacking the dishwasher. What a waste of my time that was. So I've had to work on being okay that the dishwasher wasn't stacked the way I thought it should be, because my way isn't right. My way isn't also wrong, by the way. It's just not necessarily everybody else's expectations. And the other thing is cooking. Like when I ask my husband, I'm like, hey, because it kind of makes sense for me to do the majority of the cooking for our family because I am at home the most. Um, and that's okay. I'm happy to take that on. I schedule that time in my calendar. Um, and it's not, and I overcome the the boredom of wanting to do it because I love cooking, but I don't want to cook every day food that not everybody really wants to eat. But my when I ask my husband, I'm like, hey, I'm out all day Thursday. Can you cover tea? He's as long as he knows in advance, yeah, not a problem. What I then had a tendency to do, and my brain still wants to do this, right? Is I then want to go, and by the way, it has to be healthy, it has to be nutritious, and it has to be something the boys like. I don't do that anymore. I'm like, hey, Johnny, please can you cover tea Thursday night? Tea for those of you that aren't maybe local to where I live, tea is our evening meal. Not necessarily a cup of tea. I class tea as our evening meal. Maybe you'd call it dinner. Um, but or supper, but it's the evening meal. And then I release my expectations of what he should do. And if his idea of feeding our boys is going to the fish and chip shop, that's fine. I might hear my judgment in my head going, oh, bloody hell, it should be healthy, it should be nutritious, it should blah, blah, blah. But I don't allow myself to follow that judgment. I don't choose to beat myself up because I'm not the one cooking the evening meal. So when I say women can have it all, I 100% believe that if you're willing to question those expectations, to question the society's conditioning that has been handed to us. And it is changing. It is changing, and we need to acknowledge that it's changing. But we can't rely on it changing. It has to start with us. It has to start with us because you are the only person you can control. You can't control the messaging that society has given us in the past. We cannot go back and change it. We don't have to use it as an excuse anymore. It's just a reason to have compassion. And I love the fact that now when you go and do the school run, there are just as many men picking up the kids. Like it's so common now to see more men picking up the kids. I think that's brilliant because there are some dads out there that actually want to be involved in their kids' lives. They want to be interactive. They want to be part of the, the care that their children receive. But when we're stuck in our expectation that we have to do everything, we don't even give them the opportunity to. So what makes or what defines a good mum? Whatever you want it to be. Whatever works for you and your family. Because there is no right and there is no wrong. There's just who you are and who you want to be as their mum. And that's what you get to choose. And so many of us adjust how we are as mums to fit in with, our friends or to fit in with society or to not upset, your mum or your mum's advice. And like, I get it. I get it. We're human. We want to be part of the pack. So I have a question for you. And this is a question not to beat yourself up. This is a question to empower you to make a choice. When you're deciding on the type of mum that you want to be, if you're thinking about the type of mum you want to be with your kids and then the type of mum you want to be for society, there's going to come an element of discomfort. At some point, awkwardness, embarrassment, and discomfort is going to come in. Whether it's the discomfort of trying to conform your child or whether it's the discomfort of allowing people to judge you. So if you imagine you're out with your mates, you're out with your friends, and maybe they have, so this is something that I experienced. They had girls and their girls were naturally quiet and wanted to sit and draw. And I had boys and my boys weren't naturally quiet and they wanted to run and fight and shout. I had a choice in that moment. And this is what I'd like you to choose. Would I rather be a mum that empowers my son to be who he authentically is and love him for that? And have the discomfort of my friends judging me if that's what they choose to do? Or do I want to try and change my child, try and conform my child and being uncomfortable knowing that that's not quite right for them, but it makes me fit in with society? So either way, I want you to imagine for a second, either way, whatever you choose, there's going to be an element of discomfort. You get to decide whether you'd rather let down your child or whether you'd rather let down your friends. And I'm not saying which one is right or wrong. I'm not. I know which one I would choose and what's right for me. I would rather let down my friends and support my child and love my child and embrace my child and be uncomfortable thinking people are going to be thinking all the thoughts about me. But I'm not saying that's right for you. But you get what I am saying is you get to choose. You get to decide. And it's going to come along with an element of discomfort because there is a society's normal, and if we are perceived to be outside of that normal, it will be uncomfortable. I totally would love to question what normal is, by the way, because there isn't a normal. But you get to decide. You get to decide on the type of mum you want to be. And I love my job. I love earning money. I want to be the type of mum that shows my boys that women can make money, that women can have their own business doing something she loves, that a woman can be the breadwinner if she wants to be, that they don't have to be if they don't want to be. They can stay at home and look after the kids. The dad can do the cooking, the dad can do the washing. I love it when I go away for a week and I just say to my husband, I'm not even sorting anything out. I'll be gone on this date, I'll be back in this date, the rest is yours. Figure it out. And he can, and he does, and they're fine. More than fine, actually, because they probably have roast dinners every night. And that's okay too. So you get to decide. It doesn't matter what society has conditioned us to be in the past. We are not in the past anymore. And when we continue to tell ourselves that story, that's exactly what we continue to create for ourselves. You get to decide. You get to decide what the right sort of mum is for you. And if you're struggling then with the thought process around that choice, that's that's time to get help. That's the time to talk it through with someone. What I love about our beliefs that we've been handed by society and about our caregivers and about our religions and about, social media and what we've heard, those beliefs that we've created, if you look at the word belief, right in the middle is lie. They're all just lies. Now, if that lie is helping you be the type of mum you want to be, brilliant, go for it. Embrace it. Stop torturing yourself by beating yourself up. You should be different. But if that lie you're telling yourself isn't helping you, and actually you're not as present with your kids because of all the shoulding that you're doing in your head, you get to change that. And I would love to invite you to change. Coaching would support you with that if you needed it, if you wanted it. So, what is the definition of a perfect mum? You. You are the definition of a perfect mum. You're amazing for your children. They love you without condition, exactly how you've been and exactly how you are. Going forward, if you want to change that, you have the choice. There is no right or wrong. You get to decide what definition works for you and for your family. Have an amazing week. Mwah. See you all again soon.